Hey everybody, I'm here to give you an update of where I am with this amp. First I want to show you the board. Right? If you remember, I said I was going to use an authentic Fender board here, and I did, and you can see that I've got just about all the components mounted. The only thing I'm missing here is a 5 watt 500 ohm resistor, which is the grid bias resistor, which, if you remember from my previous video, protects the tube from pushing out too much wattage when idle. So I haven't gotten that part in, but I've got all this in. I've got some of it soldered, and I'm just going to go on my sheet here and mark what I've done. So first 16 microfarad cap with a lead coming out for ground is right here. That comes out, and I have a lead coming down here. You can see right here going to this resistor, and I have a wire mounted out here to go back to the first tube. Then I've got the 10K resistor right here. I've got it centered to this other 16 microfarad cap, which in turn has a ground coming over here. I've got another 10K resistor right here that goes across and then comes up to this other 16 microfarad cap, and then this comes across here to the tip of the 25 microfarad cap, so that's right here. And then I have a 250K ohm resistor right here, which comes down to a 0.05 cap, which then comes up to a 250, and you get the idea, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and mark the things that I've got in place. I haven't soldered a lot of this yet because, as you can see from the wiring diagram, I'm required to have a lot of wires that come out of this board that go to the various potentiometers and tubes. So I'm going to carefully map that out, make sure I mark all of these leads and that kind of thing. So that's where I am there. I also want to show you where I am with the chassis. So let's bring that up. Okay, and you'll see here on the chassis, I've got these holes plugged up. I took a piece of pretty rigid cardboard, spray painted it the same color as the chassis, and then mounted it with screws. So I've got that. I've got the transformer mounted on top, and you can see that right here. Put that in the camera. Now let's take a look at the bottom side here. This may be a little bit dark, so let's see if we can get some light. So you'll see that I've got the, let me see if I can bring this down a little bit so you can see it. There you go. So you can see that I'm going to have the board mounted here. This is the insulation board, but I've got the screws coming through here. And this is an empty space on the chassis. And then I've got my tube sockets here. You'll also see that I connected the 5-volt filament for the rectifier tube right here. And then I've got the high power side of the transformer connected here. And then this goes back to the board, obviously. What I'm going to do today is going to be my 6.3 volt filament winding, and I'm going to get that connected and all that. I'm going to the pilot lamp and all that good stuff. So that's going to be the plan for today there. And then one other thing out of this transformer, I don't know if you could see this here with the camera, but there was a ground strap coming out of the transformer. All right. So all I did here is I mounted it to a clip, and I've screwed it in or bolted it in here, made sure I've got connectivity. So this is coming together nicely. It's already heavy because of this transformer, but this is coming along well. So today I'm going to spend the day working on this board, getting this board where I need it to be, and I'm also going to work underneath and get my filament windings connected. Okay? So what I'll do here is I'll stop the camera, I'll do some of that work, and I'll give you an update before I wrap this one up. All right, happy Sunday, everybody. I'll be back. All right, just an update. The wiring is all done. So you'll see that I've got all my wires down here bundled together, connecting to the bottom of the board. I've got them tie wrapped together, but I'm not going to make the same mistake I made last time and keep them bundled, if you recall. And I'll just kind of run through what I haven't done yet. And then I've got mostly my grounds coming out of the top, and then these red ones go to the volume control. So what I haven't done yet, just to be complete, is the 500 ohm 5 watt resistor. So I haven't connected anything here yet. That's still not soldered, and you'll see that's right here. And then I haven't done anything with the input jacks, so I've got all these components right here, which I haven't soldered in yet. But as you can see from the orange, everything else is pretty much complete. So I've got my wiring going down to my 6 SC7s. I've got my wires that come down to the 6V6s, and of course one that goes to the 5Y3 rectifier. So that's going to be it for this board for now until I get this component in. Then I'll complete this and the rest of these wires that go out to the input jacks. So the next thing I'm going to work on is the filament winding that goes on the bottom of the chassis. So we're going to work there. I'll be back. Okay folks, looks like I've got my filament wires connected correctly. So I've got everything twisted neatly. Of course I haven't lead dressed these yet, so they're a little sloppy, but I'll fix that. So these are my my two S6 SC7 tubes, and these are my 6V6s right here. And of course there's my rectifier tube. And I've got some leads coming off of the rectifier tube that need to go to other places, so I've just got those hanging in the breeze at the moment. Then I've got the center tap from the 6.3 volt filament, which I'm not going to use, don't need it. So I decided I'm going to try to do this thing real time and see if it blows up and create smoke. So let's get this connected. You'll see I'm going to use a Variac obviously, and I'm going to use a dim bulb tester on this thing. So let me get it all connected and ready to go, and then we'll fire it up and see what happens. Okay, so I have a cord wired into the transformer, right, into the leads coming in, and I have this cord going over to the dim bulb tester right there, and then of course it plugs into the Variac. We're going to bring that down to 0, okay, and we're going to move this out of the way so you can see. Okay, so what I expect to see is this light turn red, and I expect to see filament voltage on both the 5 volt filament and the 6.3 volt filaments. Let's turn this up. We're on 0. We're going to watch that bulb. I'm going to bring it up to 40. Right there. There's 40. And you can see right there I've got it on 40. And if we look at the bulb, we're starting to get some glow. That's good. Okay. Let's bring it up to 80. That bulb is dead quiet. You'll see that I've got a nice bright glow here on this lamp, which is good news. Let's see if I've got anything else here. I see filaments there. That's a good sign. Let's go up a little bit. So we're going to go up to 100. I don't know if you can see that, but I've got filaments there. And I've got filaments there. And my rectifier tube is lighting up. And on the 6V6s, yeah, I see a glow in there. That's good. My bulb is still nice and quiet, which is good. So let's bring this up to 115. What the hell? Bring it up to 115. I still have a nice light. I've got some good glow now on those tubes. Yep, rectifier looks good. Good glow in there. So I'd say from a filament perspective, we've got a success. Everything's working well. So I know that the transformer is good, of course, and I know that my 6.3 volt filament's good. So let me turn this down, and then we'll wrap up this video with a few things. All right. So I've been able to get done today what I wanted to do. I wanted to get my filament windings all corrected and installed correctly. And now I'm going to lead dress all these wires in here and make sure that they're neat, low to the chassis, that kind of thing, and we don't get hum. So that'll be what I do next. And then the next step is going to be when I get in my 5 watt resistor that needs to go here, we'll install that. We'll install the leads for the input jacks, and then we'll be ready to take this board and put it right inside this chassis where it belongs. Until that point, we're going to wait. You'll see I've got all my wires neatly bundled here, ready to do that. So that's it for now. Got a lot done today, and this thing is starting to cruise along really well. All right? That's it. Have a good day. This is Ron.